resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. How are you, buckaroo?
Man, I'm great. It's, as always, it's such just everything's busy all the time.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah, so we got to spend Friday night, my PA Katie and I.
Say, what's this wee stuff, Kimasabi?
Yes, we spent it with Miss Claudia Gray. It's her birthday.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, so we got to hang out with her.
Hobnobbing with the elite.
Well, you know, and because of that meeting, we have booked Mr. Daniel Jose Older, who's also a Star Wars author. It's going to be in a few weeks.
Score. Look at you, getting stuff done.
It's what I'm about. And then, of course, last night we were at the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill for their closing party. They are closing their doors temporarily.
I'm surprised you didn't call it a rap party. Because, I mean, you are Mr. Celebrity.
Yeah. But they gave me a Wolfie Award.
Oh, really? Did they make that up?
They said that I'm the voice of the Bad Wolf.
Oh, you are, sir.
All right, you ready to lay out the show?
Yeah, all right. We'll start it off as we always do with top nerd news, followed by our boy Skungy with his pick of the week. And there's somebody in the studio in there with you, Brian.
Absolutely. We have Mr. Derek Thomas from the Independent Gaming League, who's going to be talking about NOLA Gaming Fest that's happening next weekend. We're going to find out all about it. Then, of course, we'll close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th. For more information, go to IGLFoundation.com. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
Well, I'm not really sure where you want to start.
Oh, my God, be still. Are you not prepared?
No.
I know you're prepared, but...
I'm not as prepared as I would like to be. However, you did send me a link about, where was it? It was the new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. You sent me that YouTube video.
It's like 13 minutes of actual gameplay.
I don't have that much free time. I watched about 7.5 minutes of it.
I begrudgingly gave it all 13 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of long videos, man.
What I saw was impressive.
Yes,
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker's in it. You know, it's kind of taking place in that little before New Hope kind of deal, like the Rogue One,
Right.
Star Wars story era. And so it reminds me of Force Unleashed, a lot of that open world, a lot of the, using Force. He's punching through bulkheads with his Force push and flinging his lightsaber around. People are comparing it to like Uncharted and all these other things. I mean, it's basically Unleashed on crack. You know, and just a lot better, and I'm assuming a deeper story, and I'm assuming it's also going to be canon as well.
Oh, absolutely, it's going to be canon. There's no doubt about that. But what's so impressive to me is just the development of games nowadays. You cannot tell between the cutscenes and the gameplay.
And I like how they don't act. It's not a cutscene because really you never cut away from it. It's like the camera pans out. Or pans in on the dialogue,
and then you take over,
right? But then it just kind of pans back out. So like the old cutscenes used to be fade to black,
right?
Here's your movie, fade to black. You're back playing your game again. But now it's all organic. It's all one free flowing thing, and it's coming out in November of 2020.
That sounds right. And BD1 is the little droid.
He's adorable, isn't he?
It's like WALL-E meets friggin' Star Wars.
You know what he looks like?
What?
Well, he kind of, when I just say WALL-E, he almost looks like WALL-E's eyes, but he looks like a set of macro binoculars that you always see them on Hoth with.
Yes.
It's a sentient set of macro binoculars.
No, it's super
with legs.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
So it's his little puppy. He follows him around.
You have a note here about a rumor for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know how I missed this. I mean, it apparently came out a little while ago, but it concerns Rey's parentage.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were just space junkers or whatever the hell they were calling them. But now some of the rumors is that it's Han Solo's illegitimate love child. And so a lot of people are all pissed because how dare you do that to Han Solo? How dare you retcon him? Well, I'm pretty sure Harrison Ford don't give a flying crap because he don't care. He's done with Han. But honestly, I think it's awesome. I love the fact he's always been a scoundrel. There's a whole reason they kind of separated. And if they want to say that it's because, they lost their son to the dark side, yeah, that's nice and easy and with a bow. He's a scoundrel. He's always been that guy. Han Solo shot first. You don't think he shot some other chick? Come on.
But Dave,
what?
It seems like the internet is they're united on this issue.
But they're wrong. They're united and wrong.
That clearly Han and Leia have found true love.
He could still be in love, and he could still have stepped out on the side. It's. Why do you think they're not married anymore? She probably caught him in the room with some chick, in the smuggling compartment of the Falcon. That's why it smells funny in there. Just saying.
I'm not here for you, and I'm not here for your rebellion, princess. Exactly. I'm here for the money.
I don't have time to take this to committee. I am not a committee. See, imagine 20 years of that crap. No wonder Han stepped out. Come on.
Look, honestly, I'm just kind of done. Let's get the movie out. Let's watch it and see where it goes. I want to move on.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of thought when they were showing the trailer again in this article, I'm like, what are they pissed off about now? But it's like, let's just wrap this one up. Let's just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Benioff and Weiss, who I'm not blaming them for the Game of Thrones finale anymore. But I've seen what they can do when they're given full reign to do something. They had to close somebody's book because George R.R. Martin's too goddamn lazy to finish his damn book.
Right.
So they had to you can't make the fans happy when you have to wrap up an entire book series in 45 minutes, give or take.
Yeah,
come on. What do you want from these guys? But
that was kind of lose-lose for them.
It was. Look, I'm not a fan of the way they ended the series, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
So more ire on the internet here.
Oh, what's new?
So Swamp Thing fans are mad at DC their marketing.
I don't blame them one bit.
For canceling the show on the DC Universe streaming service. Now, look, it's very, very unfortunate, right?
DC sucks so bad.
Well, okay, so
Jesus, they suck.
Hold on, let's get it out here, Dave, because this is important, right? There were some tax credits in North Carolina that they were supposed to cut to Warner Brothers in DC for the production,
okay,
and to the tune of something like $80 million or whatever. And then when it came to brass tacks, they're like, yeah, well, there's something wrong here or whatever, and it's like $26 million. That's like a big difference.
Yeah, right.
And I guess DC kind of came in and said, hey, we can't afford this anymore.
Right.
And they cut out some episodes from the
because it's supposed to be 13 and now it's down to 10.
Right. They cut, so they're trying to save costs here, and it's a series of unfortunate events.
Ooh,
however,
I see what you did there.
Yes. However, I don't. It's sort of bad PR for them to keep promoting it, but they can't not promote it because it's current on their service.
Right. It comes out every Friday for the next 10 weeks.
Exactly. So, it's just they're so screwed in this scenario. There's really nothing they could do about it.
Look at the offerings that they're giving anyway. The DC Universe, none of that screams, I got to get it. You had Brendan Fraser, but you had fat, lazy Brendan Fraser who's, in Doom Patrol.
Yeah. They haven't announced anything about Doom Patrol 2. And
well, it's because I've not heard glowing recommendations. I heard meh. DC's really good at meh. They're really good at that.
Maybe they just need to fire their entire board and start over from scratch.
Well, I know they're going to be firing a bunch of people from Marvel and Disney, so maybe they'll be going. Or maybe Kathleen Kennedy, because her contract comes up in 2 years. Maybe she'll go over there.
You think? That's
I don't know. I'm
weird, wild speculation.
Rampant speculation right here from D Squared on the Week in Geek.
Jeez.
Look, people are mad about that, about the whole Han Solo thing, that they're screaming that they want her gone. They want Rian Johnson and, just beheaded and, tarred and feathered and marched downtown square on a beam,
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So you put an article in our show notes here about Indiana Jones 5, and there was a correction since you put it in there that it's going to start shooting next year. What are your thoughts on Indiana Jones 5?
I don't know. Is it finding the bedpan of doom in the old folks' home? Is that what he's looking for? The lost dentures of Indiana Jones.
Finding the plot of Indiana Jones 4.
He's going to be stepping out on the other lady from Indiana Jones, whatever her name was.
Marion.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Sure,
that is Marion.
Yeah. That's why you keep me around, Dave. Yeah. Like, I'm so done with this.
He's going to be 81. He's 77. I mean, by the time it starts filming and gets done, the dude's going to be like 88, 81, starting from now.
But,
I mean,
he still loves Han. He doesn't want anybody else to play it. We talked about that last week.
He hates Han. Han's dead. No, you're talking about,
Indy.
I get what you got.
Indy, yeah.
He's in love with Indy. He doesn't want anybody touching Indy. But I mean, what is he gonna do? He's gonna have to have everything's gonna have to be CGI'd and stunt doubles.
Oh,
you know, break out the walker. Indiana Jones is going to the bathroom today. Stay tuned, Jones fans.
Do they have that big of a budget
for what? Colostomy bags?
Oh, that's what? Terrible. Jeez, Dave, you had to go there. All right, apparently Zack Snyder is on board with Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman, and of course,
surprisingly, I think I'm on board now too.
Really? Why is that?
I didn't pull the audio, but even Robert Pattinson hates Twilight.
Okay.
So I'm down with that. And like at one point that he was being interviewed during the Breaking Dawn, rollout, and he's just doing all those the media tours. And he goes, yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Twilight I don't understand. He's like, why are they still in high school? You know, I mean,
right.
Really? I mean, that's some sick Predator level stuff where they're just like, I'm 1,000 years old, but I'm going to still go to school, check out them little high school girls. I mean, come on, Pervy McPerverson, so I'm glad that Pattinson can see that. But also, I think the way the script has been written is that it's supposed to be more like the detective. It's supposed to be the world's greatest detective Batman. So I don't think we're expecting him to run around and all the gizmos and doodads and the Batmobile, the Batwing,
right.
the Batcycle, the Bat, gold card, don't leave home without it, bat nipples on his suits. It's going to be him with a magnifying glass and a little hat. Okay, maybe not that, but you get what I'm saying.
Like, they're not going to go that far.
I think it'll probably be more like a Batman noir.
Well, and honestly,
I think he could pull that off.
I would be happy with that, to see him go back a little bit toward his roots.
It'd be something different, because we've seen all the iterations of Batman. I mean, we've seen them all. So I think this one would be a much better one, where it's like, okay, let's see the mind, because it's always been he's so smart. I mean, he has a file on how to murder every member of the Justice League.
Yeah.
I want to know that guy. That's
right.
the guy I want to know.
All right, let me get some sad news out here.
Jesus, Brian.
No, because it's important. The Maker Faire has ceased operations.
I sent that just for you. When I saw that, I had a lonely tear.
Yeah, they're having financial troubles. They're laying off the 22 people that they have on staff, and they're trying to make sure that their servers stay up so that people can still get access to the files for the older make magazines.
Well, and what happened, though, is that because of it's the internet and everybody and their brother can get like a 3D printer and all these other things, they've put out all these things. So initially when they first came on the scene, they were kind of like the movers and shakers of it, making it happen. And then going out into all the cities and getting all those makers together. Well, just like in any good network or grassroots system, it started to work. And so, when people are putting these things out, why pay for a subscription when, obviously there's always ways to find stuff for free. And if you can
right.
pay for it or get it for free, I mean, that's kind of the whole idea of the Maker Faire. Don't buy something when you can make it at home.
Yeah.
So why buy the plans from them when you can get them for free on the internet?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. And it's just, they lost a number of their sponsors for their events. And,
that sucked. Like Microsoft was just like, hey, we're good, thanks.
Right. And I mean, I get those companies want to move on to other things or whatever, but the maker community is so robust and has given us so much. It's kind of sad to see this happen. But I don't think
the make spaces will survive, and that's kind of what that was the best thing to come out of it, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people are still going to make things. There's still going to be stuff out there. It's not going to go away. I think it's just going to change.
All right, one final thing before we roll out and go talk to Skungy with his pick of the week. What fantasy novel TV series is going to replace Game of Thrones? And it's interesting, though, too, because everybody's got their ideas. I mean, you've got Wheel of Time, supposedly is already in some production. You've got
Lord of the Rings is in production.
As well. My idea, I want to see Robert Asprin's the whole Myth Adventures thing,
dude.
And because think about this, we've got all the dark and gritty stuff. We've got our favorite characters can die at any time. We need a little more lightheartedness back, I mean, what made Game of Thrones so great, what made The Walking Dead so great was that people were just dying by the bushel. And some of these these books are so highly entertaining. They're filled with terrible puns, and it's more like, hey, let's go for a ride. And there's the multiverse, so there's so many jokes you can use. It's such a wide array of stuff that it would be entertainment as opposed to, it's like, oh my God, who's going to die? It's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go watch the Myth Adventures again today because this is going to be a hoot and a nanny.
Dude, that was so much fun. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. That's good. That was a movie, And then, why not get some, Terry Pratchett stuff in there? Why not,
What? Who are you?
What? I mean, look.
You hate Terry Pratchett.
I am not a fan of his work. No, it's too much for me. It's too non sequitur, right?
That's how my brain works.
It's so aberrant, my brain can't handle it. However, I know that people enjoy it, and I would be fully supportive of something like that because I know it's silly and irreverent, and we need more of that, to be honest.
Honestly, I think that would be perfect. That or like Fool's Company, where it's like the French Foreign Legion, but in space. You got this multi-billionaire who takes over this misfit crew. It'd be like the A-Team in space.
Or what about? Did you ever read the Garrett P.I. series?
Yes. Yeah, like nickel-plated something. They were all
related to metal. Every had metal in the name title. Yes,
that was a fun one too,
dude. Yeah, so much.
That would be because it's just we've gotten just so so damn serious. Why so serious?
That's because that's what Warner Brother gives us. So
stupid Warner Brothers, stupid DC. Whoa, that's loud.
It is. We just need I guess we need to be in the consulting business for Hollywood. We
should, and that's just going to steal all our ideas because we air them free on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Right. All right, guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Han stepped out.
NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports at Avondale. We'll have all-day tournaments with your favorite games like Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter, and more. Tabletop will be included too, featuring events from Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and a host of demos to jump into. Casual, retro, VR gaming available all weekend with plenty of artists and vendor booths. Don't miss NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports. Check out IGLFoundation.com for more info.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Q's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Hey, this is Jason Douglas. Actually, this is Beerus the Destroyer, and you're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Sorry, Brian, I was distracted looking at Keanu Reeves.
Oh, no. Oh. I don't blame you then.
Okay, I know. All right. But it's time to do this.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
Oh, man, it's my favorite time of year. It's E3 time.
Yeah.
Yay!
Awesome. So you have tons of good news for us, right?
Oh, my God. So they've already, E3, it started technically yesterday. They had the EA press conference, but I'm going to go over that with my full recap next week.
All right.
Today, they had the Microsoft press conference, and starting in about 5 minutes, the Bethesda one. But I'm going to talk about the Microsoft one. Man, Microsoft came out swinging.
Really?
Man, this was a good. They announced 60 games.
Jesus.
They have like 14 Xbox exclusives, and if you were playing a drinking game while watching the conference, every time Microsoft mentioned or it came up on the screen saying Game Pass, you would be drunk in 5 seconds.
Wow.
Well, it's just good marketing.
But it is good marketing, and it's I'm going to have commentary on that later. But I want to just get into this because, man, there was a lot. They started out with showing us a new video of Outer Worlds.
Okay.
Which is that sci-fi Western type game that's made by Obsidian. It's going to be multiplayer online. That basically is, giving the middle finger to Fallout 76.
Yes, I remember that.
Now I remember.
Yeah.
So it got a date. It comes out October 25th.
Okay, cool.
And it's going to be on Game Pass. You get to play it day one on Game Pass.
Damn.
They got a new, the people who made Devil May Cry and Hellblade have a new 4 versus 4 online melee game called Bleeding Edge, which has got a lot of cool characters and everything. It looks kind of like almost, the characters remind me of almost Overwatch-ish, those kind of cartoony, like tongue-in-cheek, not real serious. So that one looks really fun.
Does it have like new technology that it's using that really pushes the envelope of the equipment and everything? It's called Bleeding Edge. I'm just trying to for the bad joke. Yeah. All right. Okay.
He's here all week. Try the veal.
Go.
Dave, your son is going to probably go nuts over this.
Oh, God, what?
Minecraft Dungeon. It's Minecraft Diablo, basically.
Shut up.
I'm not joking. 4-player co-op. It comes out next year. It for lack of a better description, it is Diablo that is Minecraft.
8-bit Diablo.
I think it's cool. Right? I mean, it's like the elements were already sort of there in the base model of Minecraft. It's just a matter of some additional programming and stuff. Yeah.
So, like, you're fighting, like, hordes of the zombies and everything. So, it looks really interesting. It's got, like, a full inventory system, kind of like you do with a Diablo, where you can give yourself armor and different weapons and stuff like that.
So it's kind of like a primer for real Diablo for the kids, for kids, like the hula hoop.
Yeah, for kids, the hula hoop. Yeah.
Oh,
We've got that. They showed a lot of gameplay, even with the EA one, of Star Wars Fallen Jedi.
Yes.
That looks freaking awesome. We talked about that to start off the show, man.
Yeah, it's like Uncharted meets Prince of Persia.
And it's unleashed on steroids. I mean, it's unleashed on steroids.
There was this one moment where they showed him climbing an AT-AT, and it reminded me of like Shadow of the Colossus. So that's going to be amazing. Keep an eye out for that one. It's got Saw Gerrera in it. So that's,
Yep.
They're making a Blair Witch game.
Huh? You have to play it in the
Blair
dark in the
Witch
corner?
Project horror movie, but it's like a third-person horror. It actually looks, if you're a horror fan, it looks interesting. The big one, Cyberpunk 2077.
So Don Cooper sent me a video a little while ago with Keanu Reeves in a cinematic trailer for Cyberpunk. Do you know anything about this, Skungy?
Yeah. He's in the game, and he actually
Oh,
came
wow.
out on stage.
Wait here, hold on, listen.
The feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the
Keanu.
future, is really going to be breathtaking.
Wait for it.
You're breathtaking.
Keanu, everybody loved Keanu. They were just like, oh my God.
That's
I mean,
cool.
the crowd, they weren't heckling him. They just couldn't stop. They loved interacting with him, and Keanu's just the man.
The place erupted when he came out, and we finally got a date. It's April 12th.
2077.
No, 2020. But it's still, we still got almost a year before we get that game.
Oh, that's less than a year. It's not that long.
Gameplay looked kind of just meh. I don't know.
I
The
don't
guy
know, man.
jumping on the
The
bike, it just
first-person
kind of
shooter
looked.
of it reminds me a lot of what Mass Effect should be like in this day and age.
Okay.
It's going to be fine, Dave.
Fine, whatever.
We're all going to love it.
I'm just
we got a
a
new
poster of
we got a
Keanu.
new Battletoads.
Battletoads. Nice.
Yeah, we got a new Battletoads coming out. That one's going to be, 3-player co-op based off the old arcade game. That was, so much fun.
That's really awesome.
One thing that Microsoft did, their ID at Xbox is their whole thing where Microsoft bought a bunch of independent game studios, and they're basically just funneling money to them to say, make what you want.
Cool.
That's nice.
So all of the stuff that they're making, that ID at Xbox makes, will be on the Game Pass to play day one that it comes out. One of the biggest announcements they said was Double Fine, Tim Schafer's company that made stuff like Psychonauts and Brutal Legend and a bunch of games. They acquired them, so that's going to be a good partnership. They've got the new Game Pass for PC, so this is for the dirty PC.
What?
Yes, so you're going to
Jesus,
be just
Brian, you
like with
broke
the
it.
Xbox. You'll be able to have over 100 PC games that'll be able to be streamed directly to your PC, including like the Halos and the Gears of Wars and everything. You pay one monthly fee and you get to stream all these games. And they're doing one big group thing where you pay one price and you get your Xbox Live, your Game Pass on Xbox, and your Game Pass on PC, all for one price.
Interesting. So I guess a couple questions out of that is it a challenge to Steam and their current platform and offerings? And then go ahead.
Well, what's the second question?
The second question is then, is this a preemptive strike at Google Stadia in their streaming services that they're working on?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So they're basically, what they're doing is, Microsoft wants to have Xbox Game Pass and the PC. They want it over all platforms. They're in talks right now to have Game Pass on Switch.
Wow.
So you can play like Gears of War on your Switch. They want to move not just in their own console, they want to be in other consoles.
Yeah, Dave, there's no money in hardware, right? The hardware is always a loss leader. It's the games and the intellectual property and then if you don't remember, the Google Stadia is the streaming service that Google's working on that you could play games in a browser. You wouldn't even need a computer. Right? I mean, you just need something that will access a browser and either a mouse and keyboard or a gamepad or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like at that point, a console or a PC wouldn't even matter.
No,
right?
Yeah.
No, I'm fully on board with the whole like movies and games not having a disc anymore, because yes, that is pretty dated.
Don Cooper is going to hate you.
I don't care what Don Cooper thinks. What the hell do I care what
he
Don
wants
Cooper
physical
thinks?
media.
Well,
so.
he's a Luddite.
Luddite.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, what else you got, Skunge?
So yeah, God, there's so much more. They just real quick. Wasteland 3, Brian, was announced.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out and it's going to be on Game Pass day and date. You can play it through Game Pass. One of the ones that they focus heavily on Gears 5.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Gears of War 5. And it's coming out September 10th. It's coming out a lot sooner than we all thought. They showed gameplay of the brand new escape mode where it's 3 players and you're trying to get out of the horde and you're trying to lock them in so they can get killed by this gas, and you're constantly trying to move forward. So it's got a new mode like that. And if you pre-order the game within the first week, you get the Terminator skin, the actual the skeleton,
Ooh.
the Terminator skeleton.
Nice.
To play in the game.
I want Arnold.
Yeah.
I want the Arnold skin.
So a couple other things. They got a new Dying Light 2. Finally got a date for 2020. Phantasy Star Online 2. There's a lot of fan base with that. That's coming to the Xbox. And then there's a game that's being made with a world by George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki called Elder Ring, and it's made by From Software. So the people who made Dark Souls and Bloodborne are making a game based off of George R.R. Martin world.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's not gonna get finished anytime soon, is what you're saying, right?
No, probably not.
Okay,
Probably
gotcha.
not. And then for Borderlands fans, the Lilith DLC for Borderlands 2 that will link Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 drops this week, and it's absolutely free.
Cool.
I like free.
And then the big reveal, they talked about the Project Scarlet.
Scarlet or Scorpio?
Scarlet, which is going to be Microsoft's new console coming out next year.
All right.
They say it's going to be at least 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. It's going to have SSD. The big thing that they were talking about was load times. That's what they seem to be focusing on, saying that when you go, you play a game and you go in an elevator, you know that the elevator is going up. It's loading up the world. They're trying to eliminate that, where you just jump into the world and there's no load on anything. And they pushed heavily. We're not sure if it's going to be diskless or not, because they said if you have Xbox Game Pass, this is going to be the thing for you for instantaneous button press and start your game. So we're not sure. Sony's already committed, saying their next console is going to be disc-based, but we don't know. Microsoft hasn't said anything. The first game that is officially announced for the Scarlet that will be at launch is Halo Infinite.
Okay. Cool.
So, and then they ended the press conference with some Infinite, just a video, which didn't really show anything. There was no gameplay or anything like that. So there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. They'll probably show us more within the coming year. But this is the format of a new game release. At one E3, we say, hey, we're working on a new system. And then the following year, they'll go, here's the system. This is what it looks like. It comes out this holiday, and this is how much it is.
Cool. All right, Skungy, we are way over. We got to get to a commercial break, so thank you very much, and get back to work and get more news out of E3 for us.
I'm going to go watch Bethesda.
There you go. Thank you.
Later.
All right, gang, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Derek Thomas in studio talking about the Independent Gaming League and NOLA Gaming Fest next weekend. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
ProSe Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At ProSe Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. ProSe specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. ProSe Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today. Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at W&Q's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports at Avondale. We'll have all-day tournaments with your favorite games like Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter, and more. Tabletop will be included too, featuring events from Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and a host of demos to jump into. Casual, retro, VR gaming available all weekend with plenty of artists and vendor booths. Don't miss NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports. Check out IGLFoundation.com for more info.
Now, back to the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Yeah, you definitely want to tell your enemies.
I hate the voice guy. Welcome back into the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, let's talk to our guest.
Absolutely. In studio with us is Mr. Derek Thomas from the Independent Gaming League. How are you?
Doing good.
Awesome, man. So, of course, we're all very excited. Next weekend is going to be NOLA Gaming Fest, and I know we've got a lot to dig in on that, but I want to. We really need to set the stage. Yeah. All right. What is the Independent Gaming League and the IGL Foundation? Tell me about that first.
All right, the organization as a whole.
Yeah, because I think that's what drives the NOLA Gaming Fest. So let's set the stage.
All right. So the IGL Foundation, what we do is we work a lot with the youth throughout the New Orleans and the surrounding areas. We focus on digital arts, animation, game development. We have after-school programs and summer camps and workshops and a whole lot of things based around STEM throughout the area. And the way we were, started with our, STEM programming and our foundation was actually through gaming. We utilize, gaming tournaments, events, different things like that, to raise fundraising for our youth programs throughout Louisiana. We all know, Louisiana's education and digital media and STEM is definitely not at the top of the charts. So one thing that we like to do is we help the community, help the youth improve on those skills.
Right.
So, I started off in gaming and hosting gaming events and tournaments and things of that nature, and I saw something good that we could do with it, with fundraising and putting the money back into the community, putting the money back into programs that can only benefit the local community and beyond that.
Well, and I know that relatively recently, all things considered, we had economic packages within Louisiana to convince or entice tech companies to come here with tax incentives. So, I mean, it seems hand in hand what you're doing for the community to get kids taught up on programming and all that stuff to get them into that tech sector. Is that kind of some of your goals?
Yes. We work really closely with a lot of companies in the tech community. We try to get a lot of our local students involved early in getting these job opportunities with anything that falls under digital arts. And that's the mission of our program, is to get them engaged early. One thing coming from Katrina, watching the city rebuild, there was a lot of elements that weren't in the city that needed to be there.
Yeah.
And, we just took it on our mission to, start the rebuilding process in the area that we are the best in, which is gaming, digital arts, and, design and being creative. And we wanted to keep that movement going within the schools, within youth programs, and within just the general population.
Now, of course, all of this is very serious and very important, right? But next weekend is going to be all about fun.
Yeah.
Tell me what NOLA Gaming Fest is.
All right, so NOLA Gaming Fest is basically our twist to the gaming industry to, before you can call anything a festival in New Orleans, it has to have a few key factors to really be presented as such. Then one thing that we do with NOLA Gaming Fest is really different. We work with a lot of the local companies in the gaming industry and related fields just to support. We want you to come out and showcase what you got, and a lot of things throughout New Orleans people might not know about, whether it be a gaming center, whether it be board games, all these different areas of the same field. This is a great time for them to advertise and get their brand out there. But at the same time, we host, it's very, very competitive. We have tournaments throughout the entire weekend. On Friday is specific for the youth.
Okay.
K through 12. We have a lot of summer camps coming out there, to compete, and we're giving away probably about a couple thousand in prizes for a lot of the summer camps. Shout out to Wild Wayne Summer Camp and
nice.
Everybody affiliated with the Lit and all these different programs that will be out there on Friday. On Saturday, we support a lot of the local gaming community, the FGC, and multiple communities that are throughout the state. We like to bring in hosts that are currently doing this in any area of Louisiana. So we'll have a lot of competitive gaming tournaments throughout Saturday. One new thing that we're doing on Saturday is we have created a section called the 1v1 Lounge.
Okay.
If you are familiar with the building that we operate out of, NOLA Motorsports, the entire second floor will be streamed for 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So you can actually participate in NOLA Gaming Fest from home as well in this 1v1 Lounge. You must donate if you're going to play from home. Everybody from there is for free, and we'll shoot out a link via Twitch that you can actually donate, and compete for cash prizes there at the venue as well as from home.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, and also we're having an overnight. We have a party overnight, and at this party overnight, that will also be live. That will also be broadcast and streamed live.
Okay.
It's like a lock-in.
Yeah, it's like a lock-in.
Yeah.
And what's the funny thing is that we're going to, overnight they're going to compete in a lot of dance games.
Okay.
A lot of different things for charity. We're going to do a lot of things to raise money.
Okay.
But, the
when
whole weekend.
they fall asleep, you put shaving cream in their hand and you tickle their nose with a feather.
Nice.
Just saying.
Right. So it's going to be a lot of action. And on Sunday, we have a lot of prizes going out on Sunday. Mainly we have pre-screenings to Spider-Man 3, Men in Black.
Bam.
Was it Men in Black 3 and Angry Birds?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're gonna a lot of the prizes that you compete in. We're gonna do a lot of speed runs.
Okay.
A lot of prizes that could be competed in. You'll get tickets for that.
Okay.
As well as other prizes. So a big shout out to not only the PR firm that handled that, but GameStop for supporting a lot of the things that we'll be doing throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
I really appreciate GameStop and Skungy for supporting the local gaming community more so, going into this event. And I think there's a lot to be done there, throughout Louisiana, and they're making it happen over there. So
no, that's cool.
So big shout out to them. Revelry is a big sponsor of ours in the Launchpad.
Okay.
A lot of the local gaming community came together to put, help this event, keep it going. This is just for the community. It's just for, the locals to have a place to come out there and compete in different video games and win, different amounts of money and walk away a winner.
So, and we went and looked at the facility. This is at NOLA Motorsports in the West Bank. It's a beautiful place. Tell me about it. Because there's other things you can do just besides that, right?
So, one thing that we're really looking to do with NOLA Motorsports is coming up here. We're hoping to do something there monthly.
Yeah,
we're in the talks of potentially hosting some big things there monthly. Going in this new school year, just for the inside announcement.
Yeah.
this
heard it here on the Week in Geek radio show.
Yeah, you heard it here first. So we're working with a few people here locally, and there will be an official youth gaming league going into this new school year throughout the entire state.
Wow.
Nice.
There will be an official high school league going out the entire state, as well as amateur league going from area to area throughout the entire state. That's one thing that we're planning to move into to completely go over the whole state.
Yeah.
We are also officially partnered with MomoCon.
Okay.
What that entails is that a lot of the events that we will do throughout the year, we will host a very big segment at MomoCon going into MomoCon 2020.
All right.
For all the people involved in all the event series that we host throughout the year.
No, that's cool. And and we got to go to MomoCon a couple weekends ago, and they've got a very impressive setup out there.
Yeah, they're actually expanding. They're actually getting a bigger area. They just, I hope they announced it, but they were supposed. They were just supposed to announce that they're actually getting a more square footage in where they're at, and we're a big part of filling that extra space.
Yeah.
So, big shout out to them. I mean, great people over there as well.
All right, cool. And one of the things that I talk about a lot when it comes to the IGL and just sort of explaining what it is that you guys do is that when you're talking about baseball or football or whatever, just in general, there are all these leagues and there's all these things at a youth level, at a teenage level, college, all the way up to pros. But when it comes to gaming, it's really individuals and pros, and there's nothing in between. And that's what you guys are trying to fill out, right?
Correct. We feel as though the esports industry, I mean, right now we're just at a point where the premier focus is on the pro gaming level right now.
Yeah.
And, for people to jump into this thing and say, I can do this monthly and actually pay some bills off of it, or, stay competitive throughout the year, there has to be a purpose.
Right.
And right now, people aren't really presenting that purpose. It's great that people are hosting these events in different states, but, at the end of the day, what does it mean? What does it mean to the amateur gamer that, are buying all these games and training every day in and out? What does it really mean to them? I mean, if they win one event, what does that really mean? I mean, there's nothing that after that. There's no recognition.
A lot of the kids that fancy themselves as, esports, gamers, but it's like literally it's pros. That's it. It's the base and then pros. And so and somebody like my kid, for example, if he tries to go join the Overwatch League, well, he's probably going to get his ass handed to him, but there's such a disparity. But I mean, when you can go through and then, up your skills and then learn it, that's the best way through competition.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing this year. We brought, for the first time, gaming to Denham Springs, and a few tournaments that we had this year, at their facilities, they were able to raise over $1,000 just in concessions.
Damn.
People weren't really expecting people to show up to a live esports events in Denham Springs. And one of the cool things is that every student that came out to compete, it was their first tournament. So it was amazing. Damn. It was amazing.
Well, all right. And speaking of tournaments, of course, all next weekend, June 14th through the 16th, that's NOLA Gaming Fest at NOLA Motorsports in Gretna, or the West Bank, sorry.
Yes.
And IGLFoundation.com is where they go to find the information, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, real quick, when you get on NOLA Motorsports area, do you go to the right? It's the one to the right, not the track to the left, right?
Yes, it's the one to the right, the event venue.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to close it out as we always do with This Week in Geek History. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports at Avondale. We'll have all-day tournaments with your favorite games like Apex Legends, Super Smash Bros., Street Fighter, and more. Tabletop will be included too, featuring events from Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and a host of demos to jump into. Casual, retro, VR gaming available all weekend with plenty of artists and vendor booths. Don't miss NOLA Gaming Fest, June 14th through the 16th at NOLA Motorsports. Check out IGLFoundation.com for more info.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Welcome back to the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Like them on Facebook at The Week in Geek Radio Show. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back into the Week in Geek. As always, we want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, just like the voice guy said, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagrams, The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you miss any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app,
and your mama's house.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future! Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my God!
Dun-na-na,
right.
Only got a few minutes.
Yes, I know. All right, let's go. First out of the gate, June 3rd, 2009. All right, Microsoft launches the Bing Decision Engine, and to date, still no one's using it.
Pretty much, exactly. Except Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I just want to bring up Keanu.
All right, I ain't going to hate on him
Keanu.
for it. Yes. On June 4th, 1989. Nintendo introduces the Game Boy Portable Handheld Video Game System.
And the world was changed.
Yes. What's interesting
the
is...
green one?
No, well, I mean, it was gray with the green screen.
Yeah, the green screen. Yeah.
And the interesting thing I found out about it is it was called a dot matrix game in their internal dialogue.
Bringing back Keanu Reeves again.
Right, well, but then it carried on into its code. It was DMG01 is like the product code.
Okay.
Right? Now, initially, the internal reception for this thing was very poor. They didn't like it in-house.
Right.
And so they...
Shows what they knew.
The Japanese, they gave it a derogatory nickname of Dame Game, and Dame apparently in Japanese means hopeless or lame.
Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's great. That just makes my day. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. I'm here for you, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate
All
that
right.
too.
June 5th, 1978. Taito introduces the classic arcade game Space Invaders.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Double Dragon or something like that.
No,
Did they
but
put out I think so.
What's cool is, of course, Space Invaders had so much influence on the industry. It was so popular when it came out that Japan experienced a nationwide shortage of the 100 yen coins used to play the game.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right.
That's about it, bro.
That's about it. Birthdays real fast.
Sure.
On the 4th, Angelina Jolie. The 5th, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I want a Wahlberg.
7th, Liam Neeson. And on the 9th, Natalie Portman. Yes. All right, guys. I forgot to look up who our guest is next week. I don't even know off the top of my head.
Tune in and find
there
out.
You go.
We'll be at Gaming Fest, though, too.
We will.
Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Walton and Johnson, making mornings great on News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans. An iHeart radio station.